Jack Jones, blues singer. Every Other Day I Have the Blues. The album review. Reviewer, Paul Leslie. A great composer and musician explained to me that a real musician is able to perform in any and every style. It's been a few years since that man, the universally respected Ralph MacDonald, passed away. But I was reminded of his comment while listening to the latest offering from Jack Jones, one of the world's legendary vocalists. Jack Jones is the very definition of singer, and arguably one of the ultimate recording artists of all time. It's been more than 60 years since his debut record. Ever since, he's recorded an impressive assortment of material. Jones has released more than 60 studio albums, covering everything from classics to pop and country music. He continues to perform live, appearing at intimate jazz clubs, to the grandest and most prestigious stages around the world. The New York Times accurately described him as arguably the most technically accomplished male pop singer. These days, Jones has ensconced himself in the world of blues. His latest album, Every Other Day I Have the Blues, is pure listening enjoyment. Some may consider interpreting the blues as a departure for Jack Jones. After all, he's considered the last of the great crooners, singers like Frank Sinatra and the officially retired Tony Bennett. However, those familiar with the catalogs of the great pop and jazz crooners will certainly hear influences of blues music and authentic blues songs. It's hardly surprising that Mr. Jones should surprise us with a new album of fresh songs that all have ties to blues form and harmony. Will Friedwald, the book author and journalist for the Wall Street Journal, explained in the liner notes. Jack has always found his way, his own path, and his own songs. The album was recorded at the famed Capitol Records studio. Jones produced the record with Tom Scott, who has worked with everyone from Frank Sinatra to the Blues Brothers. The band consisted of some of the top players in the business. Listening to the album from beginning to end feels like spending an evening at some cool late-night spot. I keep finding myself wanting to go back there. Every Other Day I Have the Blues is no crying-in-your-beer affair. The tone is jovial, and you're more likely to imagine Jones on stage smirking than appearing weepy. In fact, humor is the headliner of the album, especially on the song Every Other Day I Have the Blues, the title track written by jazz drummer David Tull. The eccentric and hilarious talking blues song Looking at You, written by bassist Chris Colangelo, must be heard to fully appreciate. The photos in the liner notes seem to document that this record was a lot of fun to make, and there was no shortage of laughs. They managed to translate this feeling to the listeners. The Blues Is My Business is one of the more popular tunes Jones interpreted on the record, made famous by Etta James. It's been recorded and performed live by many artists. Now, in the hands of Jack Jones, it feels destined to be a classic. One of the main reasons the album shines is the song selection. Jones found fresh songs to fit the vibe. Blues artist and songwriter Keb Mo is credited on 4 songs on the record. Jones also plucked out the obscure song Love Makes the Changes, co-written by lyricists Alan and Marilyn Bergman and the late composer Michel Legrand. The tune was once recorded by Ray Charles, but Jones' version is his own. Originality is the mark of a great singer. The album closes with 1,000 Wild Horses, originally recorded by Blue Sky Riders and written by country songwriters Gary Burr, Sam Tate, and Annie Tate. It's an anomaly on Every Other Day I Have the Blues, but a welcome one. Jones delivers every line of the song with sincerity and conviction. Is it perhaps foreshadowing of Jack's next musical sojourn? Jack Jones' album, Every Other Day I Have the Blues, is a record you will not forget or regret listening to. The record is a lot like the singer. Once you think you have him pinned down, he takes another path. For any music lover, that's never a bad road to take. Every Other Day I Have the Blues. Artist Jack Jones. Producers Jack Jones and Tom Scott. Label Cavalry Productions. Release date September 1st, 2021. 11 songs available on CD and digital.